Hey y'all, it's July the 30th, 2015, and I have come today to discuss with you, as you might be able to tell from the title, whether or not President Barack Hussein Obama is an American hero, and whether or not he might be the greatest American hero of all time. Before I begin, I would like to admit that may very well be a possibility. All right, but I want to discuss to you, um, that there's only one of two possibilities that it could be at this point. The reason I brought this up is for two reasons. First reason being that there are very, very, very ignorant people, extremely ignorant. Um, the TV has created a false reality around them. So the reality that they think that we're all living in fact, we're not living in it. They're living in a false reality. It's a fantasy land, in which you don't have to really know what someone's doing at all to support them. I.e., there are some people out there who's who will still vouch for Barack Obama, and the reason being is they have no clue what he does or what he's done over the past 7 years. They know that he's black, even though he's not black. He's half black, and they know that he talks sweetly. He talks like a kind old man. All right, this is what they know. They don't want to be racist, so they support him. They say, I like what he's doing. I think he's doing a good job. Now, one way to easily bring these ignorant people to tears, basically, or into a violent rage, is to ask them, hey, what's one thing that he's done that's been good? Tell me one thing that he's done that's helped you out any. And of course, they'll say things like health care, free health care, whatever. First of all, he's taking health care. The health care that was free, he's pretty much fucked that all to bits. All right. You might want to throw out, he gave people a whole bunch of cell phones, you know what I'm saying? People should be able to afford cell phones. The fact that they can't afford them is a serious problem. They might say, well, you got black people, more equality, when in fact black people have way less jobs than they used to before he came into office. And all sorts of things, the list goes on. There's not one thing that they can name to you. So that's bad, all right? But you got to understand that only the completely zombie-like ignorant will ever vouch for Barack Obama, ever. All right. So you got to understand that to them, he is a hero. All right. And he might very well be a hero. Now, the second point that I was going to get to is that people who are, say, critics of the Christian faith, of true Christianity, they might by chance take a look at the Bible and say, it says here in the Bible, like in the book of Daniel, that God, he's the one that puts people into authority, that nobody ever takes authority, ever, if not through the will of God. I admit to you that there's a lot of contradictions in the Bible, and there's lots of things that need to be very closely discerned, but I'm going to go ahead and agree with you and the Bible in saying that, yeah, it's true. No one ever really is put into power but through the will of God. Even the most demonic or devil worshiping type people. This is true. So thinking about something like that might get you thinking really hard about this Barack Obama situation, which inevitably is going to destroy America. Now, even he's lied basically about everything else, but even he said that at the beginning of his, reign, that he was planning to fundamentally change America. Now, that's one thing that really cannot be debated at this point. I don't care who you are, you cannot debate whether or not he is fundamentally changing America. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Um, but how and for what reasons are still very mysterious. Hard to get to the bottom of, all right? So this is what I want to discuss with the very ignorant. Now I realize that if you are the very ignorant, you don't want to hear anything that might even close to sound intelligent. Now, not to say that I sound very intelligent, but you probably turn this off right now. But for the viewers who are still with me right now, let's think about this. Let's say that God did put Barack Obama in charge of America. Now, Barack Obama does want to fundamentally change America, but how and why? Now, the closer you look at it, you realize that every single move that he makes, uh, it definitely indicates that he hates America, or either that, or he wants to destroy America. I want to get into these two. The likeliest of scenarios, probably the only scenario, is that he wants to destroy America. Either for one, so that America can rebuild and be stronger than it ever was. In fact, it'll be a Babylon that can never be toppled at that point, because we will have learned all our lessons, because basically Barack Hussein Obama, or whatever his name is, will have brought America to its knees. Will have pretty much made it hit rock bottom, to the point that we had no choice but to stop being ignorant and rebuild in a way that's even more perfect than it ever was. Now, scenario two, which is more likely, which most of us believe to be true, is the fact that he wants to bring America down, period. And the reason he wants to do it is to get rid of freedom all around the world. Now, he's a communist. He loves his daddy. Everybody knows who his daddy is, who has half a brain. And his daddy was a communist as well. He wants to follow in the footsteps. In fact, he wants to go ahead and just outdo his daddy, all right, and bring in communism all around the world. Now, that's a more likely scenario. But for the ignorant, for the very ignorant out there who is still applauding Obama and still rooting for him, knowing absolutely nothing of what he does, there really could only be these one of two scenarios. Now, he is very much in line with the elite. And if you know anything about the elite, you know something about eugenesis, you know something about population control. And now, either way, since he is on the line with the elite, of course he does believe in population control. Now, the main goal, or the official goal, of most of these people who are for population control, is to bring the population of the world down from 7 billion or so, a little bit more than that, down to about 500 million, something like that, probably even less. Um, Now that's devastating. All right, that's, you're basically killing most of everybody. Now this is going to be successful because they plan to kill a lot of people. They plan to make all sorts of wars and, drop all sorts of bombs, have all sorts of natural disasters happen, so that way people die. But not only that, they got on the back end, they got GMOs, which they've convinced everybody that's going to be all right, and that glyphosate's in our water and our air and our food and everything, that's going to be all right, even though cancer is going through the roof. So if all these people don't die immediately, they're eventually going to die later. It's not going to take very long. Population is going to go down. And Obama is very much in line with this. So the situation can only be this. Either plan B, or the plan that everybody pretty much with half a brain assumes that is going to happen, is the population is going to be brought down through various methods. The only people that are going to be left at this point are the ignorant masses, right? Because they're the only ones who are going to follow like sheep to their demise, to their doom, to their awful existence of being raped and raped and raped all day long, and being afraid for their lives all day long. Only they're going to be left around. So at that point, the ignorant masses will actually be, in a way, smarter than everybody else, because they'll be left to their own devices. And it's going to be a horrible existence, granted, but they'll be alive, and that's the only thing they really care about. And that way, the ignorant masses actually do win, right? But you got to understand, population control is going to happen either way. So, chances are 90% of the ignorant masses will be wiped out at the same time. So, if you are part of the ignorant masses, you can only expect that more than likely you will be killed off, unless you're extremely, extremely lucky. In that case, you will survive, but you will be raped and raped and raped, and your family will be of no importance. And you will be raped and raped and raped for your whole life and be afraid for your lives all the time. Now that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is that, uh, for y'all at least, is that Obama is the greatest American hero somehow, and he wants to bring America to its knees completely. That way, only the strongest, only the smartest, only the ones who are most willing to resist will survive. Now, all the ignorant masses will then have to be basically called off and eliminated. All of them. So in this case, all the sheep who still follow Obama, yeah, yo, you're gonna die. None of y'all are gonna exist. 100% of y'all will die in that scenario. In fact, most of the people who are still resistant and still know what's going on with Obama, most of them are gonna die. But there will be a few of them left, and they will be able to rebuild somehow America greater than it's ever been before. And in that case, Obama surely will be the greatest American hero ever. Although he will have killed off basically most of everybody. Either way, he had a hand in killing off mostly everybody. So those are basically the only two scenarios that could play out. Either Obama will be a son of Satan, the worst enemy America's ever had, or somehow behind the scenes he's going to make it to where America will build stronger than it's ever been before. But even in that case, most of the people of America will be killed or annihilated or imprisoned somehow. They're going to be annihilated. Either way, to me that sounds disastrous, and I wouldn't want that to happen. But either way, it's going to be the will of God. I know a lot of people don't want to believe that, but the thing is, that is what it is. And in fact, that's what's said in the Bible. It's going to be a tribulation, a horrible, horrible tribulation that Christians won't be able to get out of. No one will be able to get out of. Jews, atheists, anybody, people who are very stupid. None of us will be able to get out of it, like I said before. But after, thinking about that, there is a very small chance that he could be the greatest American hero of all time. And that's why I entitled it. I titled this video that, and it's something to think about, to keep your mind open about the fact that you don't know how this is going to go. That Jesus works in very mysterious ways. But regardless, Obama's going to pretty much destroy America, and if it's not him, it's going to be the person after him. That's no question. Get ready for it. We're in the tribulation. Tribulation is here, you guys. July the 30th, 2015.